You're making me crazy. Yeah!
I'm back. The Wrestling's For Real podcast is back. Sorry guys, I know I missed a couple of weeks there, but sometimes life just happens and that's the way it is, but I'm back. I apologize for how I sound. I'm a little sick right now, but that's alright. I haven't done a show in a couple of weeks and I wasn't going to miss this one. There's not a whole lot going on in the news. We had Elimination Chamber went down and both champions retained. There's a lot of injuries coming out of the chamber. Wade Barrett looks like he's not going to make WrestleMania, but I'll have more on that later. But it's going to be a good show. I got a lot of clips for you guys. I got a lot to talk about. So suspend your disbelief. Take it seriously because wrestling is for real. And Monday Night Raw comes to you this week from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We begin our show with what I don't know, the first 2 minutes of the show. We get an Eve Torres heel turn. This is amazing. We go out back, we're in the back, and Eve's talking to the Bella Twins. And this is what they have to say.
Can you guys believe the weather here? It's actually not that cold. It's Minneapolis. It's kind of warm.
Yeah, you need a snow jacket. Anyways, how is Zach? It looked like he broke his ankle. I just can't imagine how distraught you must be. I know you're just friends, but Zach's a great guy.
Sorry. It was good, wasn't it?
What was? What are you talking about?
Wait, you said Zach is a great guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and let me correct you on something first. Me and Zach were not friends. Zach thought we were friends. I was just using Zach. People all over the world are talking about me now. Zach is an idiot. He didn't even get to first base. He's like a child. I don't even think he'd know what to do with a woman like me.
Oh my gosh. Hey, wow.
Wait, why are you guys acting surprised right now? Okay, that's what people in this world do. They use each other. And now, I've got the big fish hooked. Just like I used Zack Ryder, I'm gonna use John Cena. Wait till you see what I do tonight. You see, John is gonna try to come and apologize to me. Well, I'm gonna go to him first. So here's what we're gonna do, ladies. My phone is on video right now. I want you to film me walking in to John Cena's locker room. It's on record, okay? You ready?
And that's when Eve turns around to find John Cena has been standing there at least half the time listening to her ridiculous drivel. And here's one of the things that I wanted to comment on. Why are the Bella Twins horrified with Eve for saying all this? Why is it that two of the biggest skanks, the biggest swamp donkeys in the entire company. Why are they horrified at Eve Torres? I don't understand it. It just makes no sense. So, anyway, we go to intro, and then we cut to the arena, and John Cena is on his way out to the ring, greeted by the usual chorus of boos from the fans. And before he can even say a word, Eve Torres comes out because she wants to explain to Cena what in the hell just happened in the back.
I can explain. Listen, just give me a second.
Hold on. First of all, if you're going to talk, speak up. Second of all, I think you've been talking quite enough. She wants to explain. I was there for all that rigmarole backstage. I will take the liberty to fill you guys in with the cliff notes. No, that's okay.
John.
It's okay. Eve here has apparently been sipping the skank juice.
No.
And her plan is to use her assets to further her career.
No, John, listen to me. We've been friends a long time, John. It's me. Okay, listen, John.
Friends?
You know,
friends? You want to talk about friends? Because of you, I lost a damn good friend in Zack Ryder. I lost a broski for a hoski.
John, just hear me out.
No, don't
John.
talk.
Listen,
I want to hear them
everything.
chant hoski. I want to hear it.
Listen, I can explain everything, John. Look, we were just joking around. We were just having some fun.
Wait. Something amazing has just happened. It just hit me. You shouldn't be wasting your time with me. No. Hold out for the biggest fish. Hold out for my WrestleMania opponent, The Rock. Because, wait. You're completely disingenuous, totally egomaniacally self-centered, and you will use anybody to get anything you want. You guys are perfect for each other. You're both scandalous bitches.
At which point, Cena turns to the camera and mouths, "My bad." Definitely speaking to Vince McMahon, I guess, for the non-PG language. I mean, this whole promo is full of non-PG. I mean, skank juice, hoski. I gotta say, Cena was really good on this Raw, and I hate to admit, and it makes me angry when I enjoy Cena's work, because I don't like his character. I respect him. He's a hard worker. There's a reason why he's the number one guy in the company. Don't get me wrong, but anyway, Hoski's one of the greatest chants, and him saying that she's sipping the skank juice was just great. So he calls Eve and The Rock scandalous bitches. Now, Eve Torres is now on her knees in the ring, like crying. Cena goes over. He feels bad. He goes over to... Actually, no. Eve tries to hug Cena, and he ends up pushing her on her ass by accident. So basically, Cena has now gone totally non-PG. He's throwing violence against women out there. He's a great role model on this night. So Cena feels bad. He goes over to try to help get her up, and at which point Eve tries to just mouth rape Cena again, and he freaks out. He pushes her off, and he says, "Listen, I'm disease free, and I plan on staying that way. So get the hell away from me." Eve is in tears, and what I wanted to say was, within a matter of minutes of this Raw opening, they have turned the entire crowd against her. They got them chanting Hoski. She pretty much has Lita type heat with the crowd right now. So I guess good job for them. If she can up her in-ring game a little bit, this will be this will be a good thing for Eve moving forward. So anyway, after this segment, we learn that tonight the Undertaker will write Triple H's ending, whatever that's gonna mean. We come back from break and we get Sheamus versus Mark Henry match. Apparently, John Laurinaitis is allowing Mark Henry to come back to work, going over Teddy Long's head with the whole suspension. This match, whatever, couple minutes, ends with Henry goes for the world's strongest slam. As he throws him in the air, Sheamus gets out of it, turns it right into a brogue kick. Sheamus wins. We go backstage. We find John Laurinaitis and David Otunga talking to Teddy Long, and Teddy Long is offended that John Laurinaitis is trying to steal his job. Otunga said the other week he's got a plan to make Laurinaitis the GM of both Raw and SmackDown, and we saw at the Elimination Chamber, Christian was back on TV finally. No, we couldn't use him in the Rumble. We had to put him in a little interview segment where himself, Mark Henry, Otunga, and somebody else were backing Laurinaitis to be GM of the entire company. Anyway, Laurinaitis says that tonight there's going to be a 10-man battle royal to earn the right to face CM Punk at WrestleMania. And I'm asking why. Why are we doing this? Why are we having a battle royal for this? We all know it's going to be Jericho. The feud has already started. Why do we constantly need a match to get into a match? We really don't. I guess it's going to facilitate what they need to do, but more on that later. So we come back from break, and we learn that The Rock is going to be on Raw next week. So I'm thinking, what's this going to be? One of 2 Raws that he's going to be on before WrestleMania. So the one they're talking about, plus he's going to be in Boston next week, where yours truly will be attending in person. Other than that, I don't see Rock being on Raw every week. It's just not going to happen. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the next few weeks. Next, we have a non-title tag team match with Primo and Epico versus the new team of Kofi Kingston and R-Truth. So, we all know that Evan Bourne's not coming back. He's in the middle of a 60-day suspension, and I really, really doubt the kid's coming back. They just marked one of Evan Bourne's t-shirts down clearance to like $7. So that does not bode well for a WWE return of Evan Bourne anytime soon. And it looks like they just have no idea what to do with Kofi Kingston, so they're going to keep him in a tag team. They don't really know what to do with Truth right now either. So Kofi wins with the Trouble in Paradise. Not too much to talk about here. We come back from break, and we are about to learn who the next entrant into the Hall of Fame is going to be. And it's none other than Ron Simmons, former WCW World Champion, the first African-American World Champion, and former APA member. So, it's good. Good for Ron. He deserves it. He worked really hard through his career. So it's good to see a guy like that get in. We have so many undeserving people in the Hall. It's good to see the guys that deserve it get in. This is great. So we go for a backstage interview with Chris Jericho to talk about what happened at the Elimination Chamber. Basically, he got roundhouse kicked in the head and fell by CM Punk, which knocked him out of the chamber. On his way out, he cracked his head on a piece of equipment and ended up getting quote-unquote knocked out, and was never officially eliminated out of the match, but wasn't able to continue. So Jericho is pissed.
So Chris, technically, you weren't eliminated in last night's
WWE. Technically, what you saw last night was a travesty of justice. The rules of the chamber clearly state that to be eliminated, you must be pinned or submit. I pinned Dolph Ziggler. I submitted Kofi Kingston. Then I take a cheap shot in the head from CM Punk, and I wake up in the trainer's room deemed unfit to continue. That is unfair. I was never eliminated from the chamber. Unfair. What kind of a champion is CM Punk to allow a victory like that to stand, huh? I'll tell you. A punk, a man that has no conviction, a man that has no heart, a man who does not believe in what he says. I am the best in the world at everything I do. I believe that with every fiber of my being. I know it. I am it. Tonight is the end of the world as you know it, and every superstar in the Battle Royal is going to understand exactly what I'm saying, and CM Punk will know it to be true.
Upset. I gotta admit, I mean, I'm not so much torn in this feud, but this just sucks because it's two guys that I really, really, really like. Two of my favorites, Punk and Jericho, going at it. I could totally see Jericho winning the belt at Mania, but the thing is just like CM Punk is such my guy right now. I don't want to see him lose, and I think Punk really deserves to have a huge WrestleMania win. He's worked really hard, and especially with everything that happened this past year with him about to leave and everything. Regardless, the winners are going to be the WWE Universe because this is all the makings of just a fantastic match. They're going to leave it all in the ring for this one. We come back from break, and we get... Why? David Otunga versus Ezekiel Jackson. And I'm saying it right now. This is my first official nominee for worst match of the year. I can't even think of two guys that I would... I can't even speak. I'm so distraught over this match. There's not two guys that I have less interest in watching wrestle each other. Anyway, they're both accompanied by their respective brands, general managers. Otunga wins with a terrible slam. I don't even know what his finish is called. It's been known in some circles to have been called the Jennifer Hudson. So, then we go up back. We see the feet of a black figure. Not a black person. He's all dressed in black is what I'm trying to say. It says Undertaker next, and there's a guy walking, and I'm wondering, is this really going to be Undertaker, or is it going to be like a joke? But anyway, we come back from break, and it is in fact the Undertaker on his way to the ring, and this begins an extremely long promo segment. This is one of two really long promos on the show, but they were both pretty good. And I have taken, I guess, the best of the sound bites out of it. This is like a 20-minute segment between Undertaker and Triple H. Undertaker comes in. This immediately, someone yells, "You suck." It's awful how the crowd kind of, they don't dump all over Undertaker, but it's just weird how they treat him. Undertaker says that for a year, he has had to relive the beating that he took at WrestleMania last year. And it's been a year of uncertainty for him. And he's not too happy with Triple H's answer of his challenge.
He said no. But you see, Hunter, you missed the point. The choice was not yours to make. This has to come to an end. We are on the verge of apocalypse, the apocalypse of an era of wrestling. We, whether you like it or not, are the last of our kind.
And he's right. Unfortunately, this whole group of guys that wrestled in the Attitude Era, you know, when wrestling was at its height in the mid to late 90s, they're all gone. They're pretty much gone, you know. I mean, Rock's back from Mania, but he's not really back. I guess Mark Henry was around then, but no one really thinks of him. He wasn't really a star until this year, or last year. Jericho, yeah, came in the tail end, but, you know, all the main event guys back then, Michaels, Bret Hart, Triple H, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Rock, Kurt Angle, they're all gone pretty much. I mean, Angle's in TNA, but his days are numbered. And it's just sad to see that, you know, who knows if this could be Undertaker's last match, and it's just sad. So, I mean, Undertaker has a few more things to say here.
So the suit, the tie, all the corporate liabilities, they're just layers to cover up who you really are. We have to end the uncertainty. This is something that you cannot lie to yourself about. You can lie to Sean about, but you will not lie to me. This thing, Triple H, is far bigger than you and I. It is, and I repeat, the apocalypse.
And this brings out Triple H. And I just want to back up for a second, because you heard a guy in there, he yells, "Retire," to Undertaker. Like, what is going on? The fans are telling him he sucks as a guy, saying retire. The fans the whole time, they're giving Undertaker the what chant. And I think if there's anyone that you don't do the what chant out of respect, I think it would be the Undertaker. So, anyway, Triple H comes down and he has, you know, his opinion on the whole situation.
3 weeks ago, you came to this ring. You issued a challenge to me for WrestleMania. I looked you in the eye, and what I saw...
Shut up! You can save your pity. I don't need it. But let me tell you what is pitiful. Pitiful is the excuses that you keep coming up with not to do this.
I get it. I understand how bad you want this. Here's the thing. You're right. It is the end of an era. We are the last two of our kind, but our fate is not to end it, dead man. Our fate is to ensure that it carries on. My fate is to make sure that this business is here, that the WWE exists in the future. Your fate is what it's always been. To be the leader. To carry that torch for the next generation. To carry that torch and lead the way. I will not be the one to extinguish that flame. It's bad for business.
Hey, businessman. Then make this clear for me, because it's really been bothering me. Is it bad for business if I'm gone? Or is it bad for business that you'll be gone?
So Undertaker's really trying to get into the psyche of Triple H. He's trying to just manipulate him into taking this match, and he's trying to just, Triple H is obviously a prideful guy and character-wise, and he's just gonna do whatever he can to get him into this match.
You can put whatever spin that you want on this, but at the end of the day, when you look in a mirror, all you're gonna see is a coward.
I am sick to death of this coward thing. You want coward?
So Triple H is finally starting to lose it. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Undertaker comes out in one of his old robes. I guess from probably his darker side when they did like the kind of satanic gimmick. He's got this robe with a hood on it. So they're trying to cover up the fact that his hair isn't growing back all the way. It's going to be really interesting to see just how much hair he does have when he comes back. You can kind of see it on his neck a little bit, but so Taker's getting to him, but he's still not giving in, just not quite yet.
I see what you're trying to do. It's not going to work. I'm sorry, but the answer's no.
Hunter, I think I just figured it out. You know that you can't do what your buddy Shawn Michaels couldn't do. Because Shawn was always better than you.
Now this just sends Triple H into a friggin' rage. He's said no, he's walked up the ramp and been stopped by this last comment by The Undertaker. Scripted or not, you know that had to burn in Triple H's soul because it's true. Triple H, on his best day, has never been as good as Shawn Michaels. And even though they're friends, you know that he secretly always wanted to be like Shawn. So Triple H is now pissed and gets back in the ring.
You want this? You want WrestleMania? You want it all to come to a head? You want an end? You got it. One more thing. We do this, we go all the way. No return. No uncertainty. No excuses. The streak ends. The era ends. You get your end. We do this. We go all the way. I will face you at WrestleMania under one condition. Hell in a Cell.
And holy shit, we're getting a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. And I mark the frig out when they say this. And I gotta say that this is the only way they could have done it. This is the third time the two of these guys are gonna go at it at Mania. Never mind the fact that it's 2 years in a row. And it's gonna be 4 years in a row of having the same guy in there all the time. So, I mean, this is great. If this is going to be Taker's last match, and I was really hoping that they weren't going to do like a casket match or anything like that, because I'm over it. This is the way to do it. This will not only will this adds an extra element to this match, but it's also going to help hide a lot of the Undertaker's weaknesses right now. Because let's be honest, Undertaker can't go like he used to. Added to the fact that he hasn't wrestled in a year, so it's going to be tough for him. I don't care how much you train, how much work you do in the gym. If you're not in the ring actively, it shows when you come out. Especially for a guy, I mean, he's up there. He's like 50, so I know he's going to leave it all in the ring, but this is really going to help it just be more of a fight, and I'm really looking forward to some sick spots and just the add elements of having this at WrestleMania. And if they bring Money in the Bank back now at WrestleMania, this is going to be off the friggin' chain. So we have it, Hell in a Cell match. Triple H wants it. Undertaker just pats him on the shoulder and leaves just like Triple H did to him the other week. And then, for some odd reason, this plays. Oh my God. I swear, if this is going to be Undertaker's theme song this year, I'm going to be pissed. I was not a fan of the whole Johnny Cash thing last year. I think actually what they're doing, it looks like different matches have their own song. I think there's like a WrestleMania song. Rock and Cena have their own song, which I heard Cena's actually going to come out for his entrance with that song at WrestleMania. I don't know why he wouldn't just come out to his regular music, but if Undertaker comes out to Metallica, I'm going to be pissed. So anyway, we come back from break, and we get a quick little match with Daniel Bryan and Santino Marella. Bryan wins with a roll-up into a label lock over Santino. And then we get reminded that tonight Cena will address the WWE Universe. Come back from another break to a Swamp Donkey match. We have Kelly and Oksana versus the Bella Twins. Alright, and I'm asking myself, why is Oksana on the main roster, and why is she not still down in FCW? Because she is horrible. Like, she's going to cripple somebody horrible. She makes Kelly look like Luthez, basically. Anyway, Bella's win with a little twin magic into a face buster. Who cares? We come back from break, and here's our long-awaited, I guess, promo number 2 from John Cena. Alright, like I was saying before, it does make me a little angry when I enjoy Cena's work, but when he's on, he's on. And this was an awesome promo. This is pretty much the promo of Cena's career right here. Let's just get to some of the clips. Well, first off, Cena comes out and says that before he was interrupted earlier in the show by the Skankapottamus, Eve Torres, he was out here to talk about The Rock.
You know, the guy who's not here this week. But wait. The guy who's going to be here next week to address me. That's going to be a fun time. I used to love that chant. It's tough for me to even call him The Rock anymore because I used to love The Rock just like you guys. And then he morphed into Dwayne and became a disciple of Team Filmit. You see, Dwayne is no longer the people's champion. Dwayne is a champion with people. He has an entourage of his little goons. He's got Brian. You saw his picture on The Tonight Show, the guy who writes all of his jokes. He's got Hiram, the guy that I got to talk to the other guy to even get close to Dwayne. And then he's got a crackpot staff of rent-a-cops to make sure nobody messes up that $1 million smile. This is the part where I'm supposed to say, I look forward to WrestleMania because I personally respect The Rock. I don't. I respect and congratulate Dwayne Johnson for what he's done.
Alright, so Cena goes on to talk about The Rock's, movie roles and accomplishments outside of the WWE, and this is just one of those cases where you get a guy who just gets a couple of bullet points and is allowed to pretty much say what he wants, and that's really what today's product is missing. They try to script every interview, and the same Brian Garowitz writes a bulk of the promos for all the guys, and it translates. You don't really have guys finding their individuality in their characters the way that, as much as I hate them, the way that Cena does. So let's just listen.
I have a legitimate beef with Dwayne Johnson, and it's been the same problem I've had with him for 7 years. Next week, he should show up, raise an eyebrow, hold the millions in the palm of his hand like only he can, and then kick it back to Hollywood. Because I got news for you, that is exactly what's going to happen. Dwayne, I want you to listen. This is not a movie promotion for me. For those who saw the reunion, there's not going to be a reunion 2. And for those of you who begged to watch 12 rounds, after halfway through, you're like, man, probably should have gone 3 rounds tops. But the thing I'm most proud of, the thing that makes me sleep at night, through all that BS, I always showed up and I never left.
Definite points to Cena for cracking on his own horrible movies. And he's got a point, once Rock did, what was it? The Scorpion King or one of the mummies. He was out. It was pretty much a done deal. I mean, I don't blame him. Money, he went after the money. He was on the road. He just had a kid. His marriage has since dissolved, but hey, whatever. I mean, it was sad to see Rock go, because when he left, I felt like he could have had one of the greatest careers in the history of the business, and I just don't think he had enough time in the ring to really pull all of his potential out and what he could have done in the company.
And when it comes down to Dwayne, the first time he got a taste of the bright lights of Hollywood, he was out of here faster than I could say, Rocky, don't go. And then a year ago, he came back. Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. Finally, The Rock has come home, and he's never leaving again. And then he left again. Yeah. You know what? Vince is probably going to find me for this one, but the only reason he came back in the first place was to promote Fast 5 and launch his Twitter account.
Yeah. Not too many guys that can continually mention Vince and the fines that they get for certain things. We've already had Cena use the term scandalous bitches at the top of the show. Definitely not PG territory. Now he's, saying Vince is going to find me. And this is just like the huge dig. And Cena really hit on my main issue with this whole feud. When The Rock came back and said, I'm never leaving again. No one thought that The Rock was going to stay and wrestle a full-time schedule and do Raw and SmackDown every week, but at the same time, it was really shitty for him because the casual fan doesn't realize that. The casual fan that remembers The Rock is going, this is great, Rock is back. He says he's never leaving again, and then the next week he was gone, and he was gone for months. So that's where my whole issue, and unless this is going to end up being a 3-match series, like there has been talk of, because it's rumored that Rock's going to wrestle at SummerSlam and at next year's WrestleMania. Unless it's a 3-match series, there's no way in hell Rock's going to win this match. Because, honestly, as much as I don't like Cena, you can't have a guy come in who hasn't been there and just win their biggest match of the year and one of the biggest matches ever. You just can't do it. So I don't know. But Cena's not done yet. So
April 1st means everything to me. Because I'm not just fighting for me. I'm fighting for every person behind that curtain whose dream was to be in this ring. I'm fighting for every person behind that curtain whose dream was to be a WWE superstar and stay a WWE superstar. I fight at WrestleMania for the very, very small percentage of people that walk this planet and say I am proud to be, I'm sorry, a professional wrestler.
And thank you, John Cena, for using the term pro wrestler. This is one of the biggest. I could go on a rant on this forever. You guys know me and my rants. The fact that we don't use the term wrestler or professional wrestling, and like Joey Styles said years ago, we have to call everyone superstars. I mean, come on. It's a wrestling show about wrestling. Why can't we call it that? It's just stupid.
You know what? Hey, you know what the greatest thing about April 1st is going to be? The greatest thing? April 9th. The Monday after. When I'm at Monday Night Raw and Dwayne's on a movie set sipping a Mai Tai laughing at his stunt double. This got real quick. I want you guys to enjoy all this. We got 41 days to WrestleMania, and it is going to be one hell of a ride. But I promise, Rocky, as entertaining as you're going to be, as much as you're going to try to bring it, as many boots as you want to put to as many asses, you don't got the club in the bag, son. I'm here. I've been here. I'll always be here. You're going to have to kill me to beat me. The headline reads, John Cena defeats Dwayne Johnson in the biggest match in history in his hometown, Miami, Florida, at WrestleMania 28. I'll see you next week, movie star.
Oh, man. Wow. You think Cena's in WrestleMania mode? 41 nights away from the biggest...
So where did the Doctor of Thugonomics just come from? I think it's pretty funny when Cena gets thug and gets all street. It doesn't come out very often anymore. But there it is, kind of a long promo, but I couldn't really... It was tough for me to pick just a couple of clips to pull out of that one, so... And, man, we've been talking about Raw for a while now, and we still got a main event to go, so... Let's go. Up next, we come back from break, and it's going to be a 10-man number one contender battle royal for the right to face CM Punk for the WWE title at WrestleMania. Now, in the battle royal is The Big Show, Cody Rhodes, R-Truth, Dolph Ziggler, Wade Barrett, The Great Khali, The Miz, Kofi Kingston, Santino Marella, and Chris Jericho. And this is great. One of my favorite things. CM Punk comes out on commentary and just completes my life.
Cole just reminded me that's your commentator jacket. I thought that was about the new dress code.
Yeah, it's 100% camel fur or something.
That's nice.
Hey, maybe I just got camel fur trending, huh, Cole?
Is a battle royal.
Alright, seriously, who's better than CM Punk? Nobody. Why WWE didn't make him the top guy that he is years ago, I have no idea. That's just money wasted, in my opinion. So Punk sits at the table, and this is great. Cole's got his stupid little action figure there that they won't even sell in the store because they know no one will buy it. They have Cole's action figure was sold off in pieces. Like a piece would come with a different action figure if you bought it, so you could put together a Michael Cole action figure if you bought the right figures because they knew no one would buy it. Punk says he's trying to figure out why his action figure looks like Adam Carolla, which is great. So the battle royal starts. Nothing too much going on. This is better than your standard 20-man battle royal. There's just a lot of punchy, kicky in those things. But let's see. Punk says that Jericho comes out. Punk says his jacket reminds him of a light bright, which is spot on. Eventually, big group of guys gang up on the Kali to eliminate him, and then we go to a break, and we come back and get this.
We're back. Quiet, stupid. We're live on Monday Night Raw. I am CM Punk, the WWE Champion, the best in the world, joined by my broadcast partner, Jerry the King Lawler, watching a magnificent battle royal to see exactly who my opponent at WrestleMania will be.
Well, and what about me?
In your face.
I'm Michael Cole, by the way.
And by the way, I'm Michael Cole. Nobody cares. No one cares, Cole. Punk is awesome. So, eliminations start occurring in this battle royal. This is great. Oh, and why is Santino getting, like, I don't know, not the push of his career, but they're really trying to make him serious. I don't know. It probably is going to lead to him having a WrestleMania match, unfortunately, with Dave Otunga over control of Raw and SmackDown. But whatever the reason, I mean, he's been in main events. He's going after. They put him in the friggin' Elimination Chamber, for Christ's sakes. But Santino eliminates Wade Barrett and R-Truth, and things really start to heat up.
Amazing! The Milan Miracle. Whoa!
Santino eliminates Truth!
And this place is going wild! CM Punk versus Santino Marella at WrestleMania?
You'd love that,
I would love that. Talk about stealing the show from Dwayne and Cena.
Look out, guys! Look out!
Dolph Ziggler! Oh my God!
Eliminated by Big Show! We are down to Jericho and Show and Rhodes and Kofi!
Alright, so a couple things. If you rewind this a little bit, the first big smash, basically what happens is Big Show picks up Dolph Ziggler and throws him out of the ring at Wade Barrett, R-Truth, and The Miz, who are right in front of the announce table. Ziggler eats the table face first, like face and armpit first, messes up his arm. The punching sound on the mat you can hear is Wade Barrett freaking out in pain. Wade Barrett dislocates, we find out later, Wade Barrett dislocates his elbow on impact. Show is a mess. He is dangerous, and the little break in sound there with the silence, that was them covering up Wade Barrett F-bomb. He's got a legit injury, and like I said at the beginning of the show, Barrett's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, and more than good chance that he's not going to make WrestleMania, which is really unfortunate, because you get a younger guy who's worked really hard all year that definitely deserves to be on the card, and unfortunately it just looks like it's not going to happen. And Big Show just stands there, like, dumbfounded, watching the whole scene. Can't believe that he just wrecked. And you get, like I said earlier, there's a lot of injuries. A lot of guys were taped up from the chamber, so it looks like, a lot of guys' spots could be in jeopardy going into WrestleMania because of just injuries, and it's unfortunate. So, this is great. Cole calls Kofi Kingston Kofi Rhodes for no reason, and then King asks him if he's Jamaican him crazy. And Punk with another great run. He sees that, he goes, I don't know if you see this, but the EMT looks like Rock and Roll Buck Zoom Off. This guy has just more and more great one-liners. Cody eliminates Santino and yells to him that his 15 minutes are up. Big Show eliminates Cody, so now it's down to Show and Jericho. And Cody, from the outside, helps Jericho eliminate Big Show, which is going to lead to WrestleMania. Jericho wins. Jericho's your number one contender, and no one saw that coming. And this Punk stands up on the announce table, holding his belt high, gets in the ring, and we have a little CM Punk, Chris Jericho stare down. Punk goes for the handshake, and Jericho walks away, and that's your Raw. So we did spend a lot of time on Raw this week, but it was pretty promo heavy, and there wasn't really any way around it. So yeah, and we also have a live SmackDown this week. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea where SmackDown was this week. I don't remember if they said it or not. But anyway, this is your special live Tuesday SmackDown. Super SmackDown, mind you. We begin the show with World Champion Daniel Bryan comes to the ring with his girlfriend AJ. Bryan gets on the mic and says that, no one believed that when he won Money in the Bank, that he would main event WrestleMania, and he's proved everyone wrong. No one thought he would win the Elimination Chamber. And he talks about how Santino Marella was trying to channel Rocky, and throws this little comment in.
You want Rocky? Yo, AJ! I did it! Oh. Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is great with that. Yes, yes, yes. Oh man. So Bryan goes on to say that his Elimination Chamber moment was ruined by Sheamus. When that's what happened. Sheamus declared who he was going to face at WrestleMania. And we're all going to get our Sheamus Daniel Bryan WrestleMania match from last year that got bumped to Dark Main Event. So upset about that still, but this is going to be awesome. I guarantee you that these two guys are going to go out there with something to prove, and more than possible that they're going to steal the show. Bryan says that he's going to ruin Sheamus' WrestleMania moment, and later on tonight, he's going to beat CM Punk in another champion versus champion match, which, of course, brings out The Miz.
Well, look at you. The World Heavyweight Champion. Who'd have thunk it? But you know what, Daniel? You're wrong. You are so wrong. You weren't the only one that believed that you would become a world champion. I knew you would. I mentored you. I molded you into becoming a world champion. From the first day that I was your pro on NXT, I knew you had the skill. I knew you had the temperament and the determination to become a world champion. But I'm not out here asking for thanks. I'm not out here to steal your spotlight. I'm simply out here to say congratulations.
Alright, first of all, what the hell is The Miz talking about? He clearly never thought Bryan would be world champion. He was a complete douche to him when he was his pro on NXT. Second of all, why must The Miz darken my television constantly? This kid, I heard he's get some heat with the officials backstage. Why don't they just pull him? I swear to you, I would rather watch the Great Khali versus Ezekiel Jackson, rather, in a 3-hour Iron Man match than ever have to watch The Miz on television again. He sucks. He's not a main event guy. He just, is all I can say. So anyway, Bryan's really not buying it. Miz goes on to say that the two of them should form a tag team. And this is just ridiculous. Anyway, this brings out Sheamus. Sheamus comes out and says he also wants to congratulate Bryan. He wants to congratulate him on being a massive arse, and proceeds to call him a hypocrite. Says that Bryan hides behind AJ's skirt, which is kind of true. And also congratulates Bryan on hanging out with someone almost as annoying as he is in The Miz. The Miz gets a little upset and says, "How dare you insult the champ?" Sheamus tells Miz, "Hey, why don't you let the lads who have a match at WrestleMania talk?" Which is awesome. I really hope Miz doesn't end up on Mania. He doesn't deserve it this year. He sucks. So, I guess we get an impromptu Sheamus versus Miz match. because we come back from break and Sheamus vs. Miz is already in progress. Booker says, what a difference a year makes for the Miz, and how true, because, we all know Miz was main eventing WrestleMania last year, and there's a possibility he won't be on the card this year unless they do Money in the Bank, because other than that, I don't know where they'd put him right now. Sheamus wins with the Celtic Cross, and the announcers still don't have a name for the move. What they should say is, what a maneuver! Anyway, we go out back, and we find Teddy Long with Oksana in his office, and in comes John Laurinaitis and Dave Otunga. Laurinaitis calls Teddy Long unprofessional, and Teddy goes on to say that he got Laurinaitis an office for the night in the men's room, and we find out that it's going to be Dave Otunga versus Ezekiel Jackson again for the second night in a row. Why? And I die a little bit inside. We come back from break, and we have the new tag team of Kofi Kingston and R-Truth taking on the nonsensical tag team of Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. Why is Swagger even the U.S. champion, by the way? Because what do you have? I think, he might have had I think he had an impromptu match at the Elimination Chamber, but other than that, he's really not on TV unless he's tagging with Ziggler. And Ziggler should just be in the main event scene. But, what do I know? I'm not the promoter, like I always say. And just proof to this, right? Ziggler and Swagger come out to Ziggler's music. Swagger is the U.S. champion, but does not get to come out to his music. That's perfect. I don't have a lot to say about this match. There's one little spot where out on the floor, Swagger bumps into Vicky and accidentally knocks her on her ass, and she throws a screaming fit temper tantrum. And Ziggler wins with the zigzag on Kofi Kingston. And then we come back from break, we get the same Hall of Fame package with Ron Simmons. And then we go, you know what time it is. It's time for the Santino clip of the week. We find Santino in the back having some Cobra target practice.
Take it easy. This is supposed to be in target practice. This is supposed to be an exhibition. There you go. There's one. So you did good.
I've got a better way you can get all these cups off the table.
Really? How so?
Just like that.
Just like that. You know what? You really should not have done that one.
Really? And why is that?
Because this is not an ordinary Cobra. That's why.
Really?
Yeah, really. Check it out. That's right. It's not an ordinary Cobra. This one here is a spitting Cobra.
Spitting
That's
Cobra.
How does that feel, huh, Turkey?
Oh!
You realize it's okay. You got worked out today. It's okay.
Santino. Like I said, I don't care what anyone says. I love Santino. And in case you didn't pick it up, the other guy in this segment was none other than the one-man rape band, Heath Slater. It's cute. Santino had like some kind of setup with a tube and a squirt thing in the Cobra this week. So it was a spitting Cobra. It was kind of funny. And then we get this little piece where Michael Cole starts to talk about this Twitter war between CM Punk and Chris Brown. And I don't know if anyone heard about this at all, but I guess there's been a couple comments thrown back and forth, and CM Punk posted a video in response to Chris Brown on TMZ, and if you haven't seen it, go to TMZ and watch this video. Punk basically just, talks about how Chris Brown's, abuses women, and how someone needs to take him down a couple of notches, and how he'd love to do it. It's pretty weird. Normally I would think something like this would be leading into WrestleMania, but CM Punk wouldn't be doing a celebrity angle for WrestleMania, so and nothing has really been said about it since then, so I think Vince probably told him to pull the plug on the whole thing. But check out the video. We come back from break, and we get, for no good reason, Drew McIntyre versus the Great Khali. I swear, sometimes SmackDown gives really good matches, and then, we get this. This match, thankfully, is only a few seconds long. Great Khali wins with the Punjabi plunge. And then we go backstage where Matt Striker is interviewing the Big Show, and Big Show's losing it. Big Show has a you-know-what list.
Big Show, Cody Rhodes,
Okay,
really...
Cody Rhodes, you know what? Cody Rhodes is on my you-know-what list. Actually, he's on the top of my you-know-what list. Just like I'm sure I'm at the top of Mark Henry's you-know-what list. And tonight, I'm going to answer that by knocking Mark Henry out.
Big Show then goes on to say that he wants to snap Cody and Mark Henry's necks. And then we're going to be treated to yet another Big Show versus Mark Henry match. How many times do you think these guys wrestled each other this year? In the past, calendar year, how many times on SmackDown and pay-per-views? It's crazy. It just shows you there's zero depth of talent. It's fine. And there's longer term booking type things in place nowadays, but it's been done. Let's forget about it. And why is Mark Henry still wrestling? This guy has been pulled 2 or 3 times because he was hurt. They pulled the belt off him because he was hurt. And he hasn't missed a week. It's just insane. So we come back from break. Big Show versus Mark Henry. And I will say this, though. As sick of this match as I am, it is a rare good combo of 2 big men. Big Show and Mark Henry work really well together. Better than, say, you see matches with Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez, or Kevin Nash and pretty much anybody. Usually when you get 2 big guys together, it's a recipe for disaster, but these 2 make it work. And this is just gold. Cody Rhodes comes out, and he's on a personal vendetta against the Big Show and his lackluster performances at WrestleMania. Cody has this to say. Mid-match, mind you.
Mark Henry. The Big Show choke slamming somebody. The Big Show choke slamming somebody. It must not be WrestleMania. Let's take one of your finer WrestleMania moments. You versus the sumo great Akibono at WrestleMania 21. The lasting image of that match being your dimply, crater-laden, looking like you left it hanging out in a hailstorm, fat. You know what? I'm being too perspicuous. Basically, you made an ass of yourself.
It is time for the first ever sumo match at WrestleMania. First time in the WWE that Big Show's ever been outweighed by an opponent. Oh! Nearly a half-ton of humanity. Wow, man. Big Show trying to use those thrusting techniques.
Big Show showing that not intimidated.
Big Show.
Whoa,
He may have him here.
He lifted him out.
Big Show eliminated by Akibono. Wow. Oh, man. Big Show, look how embarrassed he is. It was pretty funny.
This was great. We got, the segment was called Cody Rhodes Presents another embarrassing Big Show WrestleMania moment. This was fantastic. We complete with graphics and everything. And this is the middle of the match. Basically, Big Show knocks out Mark Henry and immediately goes after Cody Rhodes to end the segment. Cody is fantastic, and I bet you by next year's WrestleMania, he'll be going for the world title. We come back from... And I was wondering, has Big Show won a WrestleMania match? I think him and Miz defended the tag titles a couple of years ago successfully. Other than that, I don't recall too many Big Show Mania wins. We come back from break, and we get the hot Dave Otunga versus Ezekiel Jackson match. And this is great. They come out with their respective GMs again, and John Laurinaitis comes out, and he's mocking Teddy Long. He's doing the Teddy Long, like, thuggin' and buggin' dance. It is friggin' amazing. John Laurinaitis is awesome. Highlights of the match. There's no highlights of this match. Who am I kidding? We get a no call on a sidewalk slam, and Otunga wins with the Hudson. I apologize again for how I sound. You know, it's cold and flu season here in the Northeast. We come back from break. Alright, this gets me. So many Raw recaps. There was Eve Raw recaps. There's Cena Raw recaps. There's a Undertaker Triple H Raw recap. There's just Raw recaps all over the place. It's getting terrible again, like last year, going into WrestleMania. We go backstage to get an interview with CM Punk, who later on has his match with Daniel Bryan. And he's asked for his thoughts on Chris Jericho and WrestleMania.
Well, first of all, it's great to be back on SmackDown. It was my home for many, many years, and I like the general manager here, unlike on Raw. The general manager on SmackDown, Teddy Long, is competent. In fact, he has my vote to be both SmackDown and Raw general manager, and we can 86 Snickle Fritz Laurinaitis so he can go work his side job at Men's Warehouse, because I could just see him being the spokesperson and saying, "You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it." As far as Chris Jericho goes, I'll address him live on Monday Night Raw, face to face. Him in his light bright jacket, at least. Which leaves me with Daniel Bryan, and what can I say? I've known him for many, many years. I think being world heavyweight champion has gone to his head. It's changed him. I thought I was a radical coming out on SmackDown every week saying I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs, but he's really upped the ante, hasn't he? Says he doesn't own a television, refuses to eat meat. I can respect all that, but if he tells AJ that she has to shave her head, I'm going to come after him and sue him for copyright infringement. But he's a champion for a reason. Daniel Bryan knows how to win. Tonight, CM Punk teaches Daniel Bryan how to lose.
And that's an awesome little reference to the not-so-straight edge Serena, who got released about a year and a half ago. It's funny because obviously it's a pretty obvious rip-off that Daniel Bryan's doing of CM Punk's straight edge society with the whole veganism thing, and which I guess is okay because technically CM Punk has ripped off Daniel Bryan with his best in the world thing from Ring of Honor. So what are you gonna do? And this match is coming up is great. Every time that you get CM Punk and Daniel Bryan in the ring together against each other, you know it's gonna be good. Some people are saying that the champion versus champion matches are a little watered down and they don't mean anything, but I mean, they do, but they don't. I mean, the problem is that it's the how do I say this? That not the titles don't mean anything, but you've got two championships that are supposed to mean the same thing, and they're in the same company. It's kind of, they're not really competing against each other because it's not a rival company. So, yeah, it's not going to mean as much as if, like, you know, the WWF champion went off against the WCW champion. It's not the same thing. Vince can sit there all day long and try to pretend that it is, but it's not. Anyway, this match starts a little bit of a slow pace. Bryan starts working the left arm, and he does this really cool move where he grabs Punk's wrist and he falls on his back, and wedges Punk's arm in between his 2 feet and does this little snap thing, which is, it was different. It was really cool because honestly, in this business, sometimes it's just the little things that make the huge difference. And, you know, Bryan's really good, and Punk too, for pulling out moves that you don't always see. I'd like to see Punk bring back some moves he doesn't do anymore, but that's neither here nor there right now. Basically, at one point, Punk goes for a roundhouse kick. Bryan dodges it, rolls out of the ring. This brings out Sheamus. Sheamus throws Daniel Bryan back in the ring into an oncoming CM Punk roundhouse kick to the temple. Punk gets the 1, 2, 3. He's announced the winner. But Johnny Ace comes out to ruin everything.
Hold on a second. Cut the music. Cut the music. As Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and the interim General Manager of Monday Night Raw, I will not allow this injustice to continue. Due to outside interference, this match will continue. Referee, ring the bell.
Great call.
Hell no.
Ring the bell.
You gotta be kidding me.
Great call, Mr. Laurinaitis. Great call.
Come on, this guy's gonna run this business into the damn ground, making decisions like that. Teddy Long, I mean, come on.
Why?
We can do something about this.
Why? Because he wants a fair end to this match.
Booker T loses it. I love when Booker T loses his shit. It's great. He's gonna run the business into the damn ground making decisions like this. How great is that? So, essentially, you know, you didn't know going in that this was gonna be a 2 out of 3 fall match, but that's pretty much what it turns into. We restart the match. We come back from break, and Punk is working over Bryan on the floor, and he's mocking him, doing the yes, yes, yes. It's great. They go back and forth for a couple of minutes, and Bryan ends up scoring a roll up, and he holds the ropes, gets the 1, 2, 3, and this brings out Teddy Long. Teddy Long is like, oh, hold on, not like that, player. Oh, thugging and bugging. Says it ain't gonna go down like that, and restarts the match. So basically, the issue is that this match is not about CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. This match is about Teddy Long versus John Laurinaitis and whatever is going to be going into WrestleMania. So we restart the match again. There's a little scary moment where Bryan throws a Hurricane Rana from the top turnbuckle onto Punk and almost breaks his neck coming down. He kind of hits the second rope weird and looks like he's about a second away from snapping his neck. Punk at one point gets jocked on the top turnbuckle, and then they go back and forth for a couple minutes, and then we go, Daniel Bryan gets Punk up top, going for a big superplex from the top rope, which ends in both guys end up on impact of the superplex. Both guys kick their legs up and like hook their legs, and it's a double pin. And the ref counts 3, all shoulders are down, and then just looks confused because it's basically a draw. And this causes Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis to argue back and forth over who won the match, and it ends up very mature with the two of these. This is great. They're arguing in the ring, and Laurinaitis takes his jacket off, throws it in the corner like he's going to fight him. Teddy Long takes his jacket off and just throws it in his face. Laurinaitis throws it right back at him. Teddy Long leaves the ring all pissed off, and CM Punk is just standing there laughing. It's great. And that's the end of the show. We end with 2 grown-ass men having a little pissy fight in the ring, throwing their coats in each other's face. And, I mean, let's be honest. Teddy Long's not going to fight. He's not a wrestler. And John Laurinaitis is like 3 feet taller than him. I don't know. I really hope they're gonna get this feud away from the champions soon because they don't need this right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll take all the CM Punk Daniel Bryan matches you want to throw my way, but let's get these other two idiots, Teddy Long and old Snickle Fritz out of the way. So that's your SmackDown, and I realized halfway through recording this that I didn't talk about TNA yet. It's because I went right into SmackDown, but it's fine. This is the order that they happen this week. So now we're going to talk about some TNA, and this, you're not even going to believe this, guys. We actually have the first ever Wrestling's For Real TNA sound clips. Yeah. Excited? TNA comes to you this week from where else but Orlando Studios, Orlando, Florida. Yawn. I didn't mention this at the top of the show, but this one almost wasn't that big of a news story, even though it really is. Vince Russo has finally been let go by TNA. Thank God. Looks like Dave Lagana, former WWE creative member, has come over, and between him and Bruce Pritchard, they have control of creative right now. I don't know how much input Hogan or Bischoff have at this point, but the main thing is that Vince Russo is finally out of wrestling for now, and I hope it stays that way. Anyway, we start the program with Bobby Roode promo, and apparently after last week's nut shot and attack by Bobby Roode, Sting had sent out a tweet that just simply said, "I'm done." So the entire wrestling world thinks that Sting's going to retire, and Bobby Roode comes out and says that ending Sting's career is the greatest achievement in his life. He goes on to say that, of all the legends Sting has wrestled, Harley Race, Luger, Ric Flair, Vader, and I'm wondering, does Sting ever wrestle Harley Race? I would be willing to bet that Sting kind of missed that one. Came a little after Harley Race, but I don't know. Let's see. We go out back and we find Matt Morgan and Crimson are arguing over why they lost the tag titles and who's to blame, and it's of course horrible acting because it's Matt Morgan and Crimson. We were followed up by our tag title rematch. Samoa Joe and Magnus are your new tag team champions from the last pay-per-view, and they're defending against former champs Matt Morgan and Crimson. This match is terrible. The only couple of things, there's a really awful spot where Crimson accidentally, quote unquote, clotheslines Matt Morgan, and it's supposed to be like Morgan's all the way across the ring, and Crimson's in one corner, Joe's in the middle, and Crimson's supposed to be going to clothesline Joe, but Crimson doesn't really start going for the clothesline until Joe moves. So it looks like a direct clothesline to Morgan. It was horrible. Joe and Magnus win with the Samoa Joe Olay kick, followed by Magnus' flying elbow. And they pin Matt Morgan. And this is great. Crimson is standing over Matt Morgan, and he looks at him in disgust. It's Crimson's fault that they lost the match, and he's looking at Matt Morgan in disgust. And let me tell you, I cannot wait for this hot feud. I swear to God, I won't even be able to handle my life if I have to watch the two of these guys wrestle each other. We come back from break, and Brandon Jacobs from the New York Giants is in the ring. He had an altercation with Bully Ray the week before. And this is terrible. Why did they give this man a microphone? I'm wondering, did this man just learn how to speak English? Because that's what it sounds like. He can barely talk. Bully Ray comes out and says they have a lot in common about being from New York and championships, but, where he's a one-time Super Bowl champion, Bully Ray's a 23-time tag champion, blah, 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 blah. The segment ends with Jacobs chasing Bully Ray into the back, and I hate when they get athletes involved, other athletes, outside athletes. They don't need to be there, and they take up TV time that should be used for someone who deserves it. And we come back from break. We get an awful backstage walking segment with Jacobs, Storm, and Jeff Hardy saying that they have an idea for their tag match later on tonight. Jacobs wants to get a hold of Bully Ray, and they have an idea for it. I'm sure this is not going to be terrible. We go to the ring. We have Alex Shelley versus Zema Ion, who damn near crippled Jesse Sorensen at the Against All Odds pay-per-view. And I'll have a little more on that later. This is great. The only Alex Shelley's an excellent wrestler. I don't really care for Zema Ion. He's okay. It's a decent match, but this is great. Austin Aries comes out with a bucket of popcorn and a glass of wine, and then sits down in a chair ringside to watch the match because Zema Ion's the number one contender due to what happened at the pay-per-view in the number one contenders match. I don't think it was supposed to be Zema Ion, but they had to count out Sorensen because he was crippled, basically. Zema wins with a hairspray and knee to the face on Alex Shelley. We come back from break, and we have a backstage segment with Garrett Bischoff where he says, blah, 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 boring. Hogan tries to talk him out of the business, and I have zero interest in this kid or his career, and I hope that he gets pulled sometime soon, but it's not going to happen because his daddy is Eric Bischoff. Terrible. In the back, Madison Rayne says that she hopes Sting is done because he's been mean to her recently, and she goes on to say that she won last week's Battle Royal out of friendship for Gail Kim because she saw the lack of competition in the ring, and she wanted to give Gail the competition that she so richly deserves in herself. We come back from break, and we have Gail Kim versus ODB in a non-title match. And this match, we get, some Eric Young shenanigans, trying to lock up with the ref, and him just causing all kinds of distractions and chaos. Madison Rayne causes a distraction to Gail Kim, and she's not looking. Meanwhile, Eric Young feeds ODB her flask, which gives her, it's like spinach to her for like Popeye. It's a little ridiculous. But Gail Kim comes back and wins with the Eat Defeat. Madison gets in the ring and tries to celebrate with her, but Gail Kim's having none of it, and you can see Gail Kim mouth that she's like, "You backstabbed me." So I guess this will probably be the match at the next pay-per-view. And then we find out that later on, Robbie E will defend his TV title against AJ Styles. Why? First of all, alright, here's my rant on the TV title and AJ Styles, actually. First of all, TV title is not even a real title. It should not be counted as a real title. It started off as a Legends title, which was created by Booker T, not quote-unquote championship committee. It was then changed into the global title, changed by a wrestler. Eric Young changed it to the global title. Okay? Wrestlers don't change the name of championships. And at that fact, the global title was stupid because it's the same thing as the world title. In name only, but it doesn't make sense. Then, it was changed later to the TV title by another wrestler, AJ Styles, when he was in Fortune. And just, we don't need this belt. Put more emphasis on the X Division title. Get rid of the stupid imposed weight limit. It's a cruiserweight title now. It's not the X Division title. Get rid of the TV title. And at that point, why is AJ Styles wrestling for secondary championships? AJ Styles is probably the most bastardized talent in the company. He is one of the greatest wrestlers in the entire world right now. And he has just been misused for the last 3 years anyway. Ever since Hogan came in. When this whole Hogan-Bischoff thing came in, AJ was champ. And he was finally champ again. And they did a horrible job booking him. Vince Russo booked him as a weak champion. And he wasn't getting over the way he should have. And then you had Flair come in and try to turn him into Little Nate 3.0. And he looked like a freaking clown with his feather-hooded Ric Flair robe. And then they just had him drop the belt. And he's been out of the main event scene for a good 2 years now. It's a disgrace, and it's an embarrassment to their company that they would have a talent like AJ and just totally misuse him. And I think 3 years ago, AJ signed a 5-year deal with them. He needs to get out of that. But the thing is with that, even if he went to WWE, they wouldn't use him, right? He'd be a mid-card at best, which is a damn shame. And this is one of the reasons why TNA is in the friggin' position they're in. Total misuse of talent. Where's Ken Anderson, by the way? Creative has nothing for him. Are you out of your friggin' mind? You guys built him up, made him world champion for 3 weeks at a time, and you didn't know how to use him. He was one of the most sought-after talents, one of those most sought-after free agents at the time when they signed him, and they've done nothing with him. It just amazes me. You continue to push guys like Jeff Hardy, who has had given the company nothing but problems, but your talents that really deserve it and could make you money, you don't do anything with. It's no wonder your company's in the damn shape it's in. So that's my rant this week. We get a backstage interview with AJ, and he says, it's time to forget about all the nonsense with Chris Daniels and Kazarian. It's time for him to refocus on the world title. Alright, so why are you going for the TV title? Anyway, alright, we come back from break, and on a serious note, I said we had a couple sound clips, and normally I wouldn't have clips from TNA, but due to the serious nature of this, Jesse Sorensen got hurt really bad at the last pay-per-view when Zema Ion tried for the moonsault and came down with his knee right in his head and cracked the C1 vertebrae and almost paralyzed him for life. He is healing. He's gaining feeling back in his arms and legs, but it's going to be slow. Doctors are saying it's probably going to be a year for recovery for this kid. I think he's 22 years old, and it's a shame for something like this to happen to a young kid so early in his career. Hopefully he's able to make it back. And I heard that Kurt Angle tweeted that he thinks the kid can make it back in 4. Angle's out of his friggin' mind. All right. But I just wanted to... They have a little interview package with Jesse Sorensen and his mom, and I just wanted to play a little clip of Jesse just to give you a feeling of the severity of the injury, and I just wanted to give him a little time here. So
I went to move my legs to get up, and I couldn't feel them. And then I went to move my arms, and it was almost like I was floating with the mat outside the floor. And I look over, and my arm just wouldn't work, no matter how hard pushed, it just wouldn't work. Nothing would work. And that's all I could think about is I got to get up. And I just couldn't move. And that's the scariest thought you'll ever go through is wondering, are you paralyzed or what's going to happen to you, you know? You know, it's a crazy feeling when you get hit over the head and then all of a sudden you can't feel anything in your body. You're laying there with thousands of people chanting your name, you can't get up. It's a scary feeling, but I'm trying to stay positive.
So our thoughts and well wishes definitely go out to Jesse Sorensen and his family, and we wish him a speedy recovery. And they threw up that you could, I guess, join the conversation, so to speak, on Twitter and hashtag get well Jesse. Having said all that, getting the serious stuff out of the way, we now have our TV title match, Robbie E versus AJ Styles. This is great. Robbie E is doing it. AJ's in the ring, and Robbie's doing his entrance with his fist pump and everything, and AJ's just back in the corner, shaking his head in disgust. And like I said earlier, it's just a little thing sometimes. And have you guys ever noticed how Robbie E's eyes bug out of his head? It's crazy. I don't really have too much to say about this match because Robbie is terrible. It doesn't matter who you put him in there. I mean, obviously AJ made the match look better, but Kazarian and Daniels come down, and the match ends with Kazarian just full blown attacking AJ Styles, causing a DQ, and just lays out AJ, and they leave. So we still don't know what's going on. We still don't know what power that Daniels has over Kazarian, and they're just dragging this out. Hopefully it's going to come to a head soon. And we come back from break, and we get our Kurt Angle making his return to the ring. Kurt Angle and Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy and James Storm. Now, on his way to the ring, Bully Ray stops and mouths off to an 8-year-old kid. He's in this, and it's hilarious because the kid is just looking at him. The kid just doesn't look scared at all. It's so funny. Angle comes to the ring. Angle is tiny. I know he's training for the Olympics. I mean, he is thinned out a lot. His arms are skinny. He's definitely lost weight. But, I mean, he looks healthy. Not like he did a year or so ago. He looks good. He just looks tiny. I still think he's out of his mind for trying to go for the Olympics, but hey, wish him the best of luck. It would be amazing if he get on the team. He's, like 43 years old now, I think. So we'll see how that goes. JB is doing the introductions. Ray interrupts him. Says, no one introduces me but me, and blah, blah, blah. James Storm gets the mic, asks if there's any beer drinkers out there. Says he knows one beer drinker, and brings out Jacobs from the Giants. No one saw this coming at all. This match basically ends. Alright, they get a table set up in the ring, and Jacobs gets in the ring. The match ends with Jacobs choke slamming Bully Ray through a table. James Storm covers Bully Ray for the pin. I'm sitting there, I don't recall this match being a no DQ. So, nice job TNA on booking that one. Thanks for coming out. We go backstage, and there's a producer knocks on the dressing room and tells Sting it's showtime. We come back from break. Sting comes to the ring and says he's been pushed over the edge by Bobby Roode, and he's done. He is done. Roode comes out, and Sting tells him that he didn't win anything. He tells him that what he actually did was he woke him up, and Sting starts to lose it. Sting says he woke him up. He pulls a couple of tubes of paint out of his pocket. He paints his face in the ring. Says he woke him up, and he starts doing the whole Joker thing. And he's like, guess what I'm gonna do at Victory Road? And then this is where Sting completely loses it.
Bobby! Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road to Victory Road! Bobby, it's showtime! No. I mean, ta-ta! Ta-ta for now! No, wait. It's showtime! It's showtime! No. It's ta-ta for now. See you at Victory Road.
I don't think Sting is done, my man. I think Sting is just...
I don't think Sting's done either, Taz. I just think he's totally lost his friggin' mind. I have always loved Sting since I was a kid. He's one of the things that first drew me to WCW. Right around the time he first beat Flair for the belt at the Great American Bash. And I've always been a big Sting fan. It's just the things he's been doing the last year or so, I feel like he's in danger of completely ruining his... Not completely, but, I mean... He's in danger of ruining his legacy. Not, like I said, not completely. He's the one guy that managed to be that big of a name with never, ever going to the WWE. It didn't happen last year, so that probably means that's never going to happen. I'd love to see it, though, if he could just do one WrestleMania match. It doesn't have to be against Undertaker. It could be... I'm sure that Chris Jericho would do the job for Sting at a Mania, and you could make it look good. But it's just a shame. But this whole Joker thing needs to go away. If anything, I'd like to see him just go back to what he was doing before that. But, so that's your TNA. Sting's going to face Bobby Roode at Victory Road. I guess non-title because they've already made the main event for Lockdown in April, which is going to be Bobby Roode versus James Storm for the world title. So that's TNA. I mean, TNA is, I wouldn't say it's already showing that Russo's gone, but it's been better. The England shows really helped me with TNA lately. So I think that's going to be the show this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad to be back. Like I said, again, sorry I missed those couple of weeks, but things happen sometimes. So we're going to have lots to talk about next week. Rock's going to be back. What else? I'm super excited for WrestleMania. I just got my WrestleMania ticket package in the mail this morning, so that is just it's coming up quick. Miami's coming up quick. So listen, if you guys want to check us out anywhere on the web, you can do so at facebook.com/wrestlingsforreal, on YouTube at wrestlingsforreal, Twitter at wrestlingsforreal. So everyone have a good week, and we'll see you. Peace out.
partner is going to shock the world because he is none other than the Shock Master! All right! The Shock Master! I told you. Oh, God. So flat his ass. Flat his ass. Look at the size of him. I don't care who you are, boy! I don't give a damn who you are! You're gonna have us! You're gonna have Van Vader! And we're gonna be breathing through your neck!
So you're the man that rules the world. They call me the Shock Master. You've ruled the world long enough, Sid Vicious. Get ready. Come on, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? Come and get me. Come after me, Sid. I'm ready. Along with Davey Boy, Sting, and Dusty Rhodes, we'll see you at the Fall Brawl at the War Games. Until then,